Hey guys, Golemak here. I have another video that I want to comment on and have a reaction on, and it looks like it's so PvP for EVE Online. So let's get to it. And the first thing that I see is we have a Minmatar Tech 1 cruiser that is fitted with speed, basically a shield tank, and he's really fast, close range, and singles, long point or scramble, and he is about to engage a Vexor on Anomaly. And I see the Vexor only has 3 rats left, so he should be able to kill him pretty easily. So, and let's see what happens. Okay, so he's landing on it, 33 kilometers away, and here we go. Drones out, point, and damage is pretty nice. Yeah, that's a stabber. Stabber has pretty good damage, probably around 350 DPS. Here we go. So that was fast, and now he's landing on an Ishtar. Ishtar is a Tech 2 cruiser with really high damage output if he is able to apply it. It looks like another Anomaly, and let's see how it goes. Drones out. Oh, he's not using drones now. Okay, so basically Ishtar is already in half armor. Well, that's a lot of damage. Nice. Okay, another Ishtar. Another Ishtar. Good tackle. Good tackle. And I don't see point on the Ishtar. Okay, here we go. 17 Wako. That's... Oh. Okay. Here we go. Ishtar is armor tanked, basically one ancillary armor rep, it's not going to save him. Although, oh my god, YouTube is killing me. So, let me back a bit. This was close. I told you that this Ishtar has a lot of DPS, and our stabber already had his shield down and he was leaking armor, so he looks like he overheated his weapons, but we didn't see that in his videos. So he had another fight, and he basically he basically went to the Ishtar and attacked it with almost burn it out weapons, which means he didn't have any paste, any nanite paste to repair his guns at this point. However, he manages to kill the Ishtar in good time, just before he dies. And so what we have right now, okay, so now he has let's see, now he has been repaired, so that's good. And he's going to I believe it's the encounter surveillance system. When you land on it, you basically have a gate, and you have to take that gate in order to get into it. and right there he is finding this saber waiting on 0, and this saber should be no problem. He should be able to kill the saber without problem. So let's see what happens. He's interesting. So he's changing from EM to, I'm not sure this is EM. He had preloaded close range ammo, which means he had ammo in his guns that does pretty good DPS, but it wasn't that good against the saber, because saber has a resistance, and the lowest resistance for saber is always electromagnetic, which is EM, and he decides, or thermal. Usually sabers covers most of the EM resistances, and they leave the thermal resistances low, because you cannot tank all resistances upwards. So he decides to switch from high damage ammo, which does explosive, and he goes for the thermal, which is a good choice. Phased plasma is thermal. Alright, so the second he wants, there is a Tech 1 frigate coming to help the saber, which is a slasher. Should not be a problem against the against our guy, because it's basically a frigate. It's really easy, and for our guy. So let's see what's going on. So he's taking range from the saber, because saber can only shoot up to around 15 kilometers, and our guy is fast, so he's able to keep a scrambler on the saber. Here we go. So he started shooting the saber right here, but decided that he also took some well, this is happening really fast. So right now he used a drug that gives him a little bit more damage, and although right now he has everything on the saber, which is a Tech 2 destroyer interdictor, which means this ship can open up can put out a module that prevents anyone inside its diameter to warp out. And what he did is actually he can outrun the saber. He can outrun the saber, but he cannot outrun the slasher, and he will be in trouble if he lets the slasher gets to him and use a scramble, which stops his speed module that gives him speed, which is the micro warp drive right here. So he did the best thing, and he decided to keep the saber tackled, but move all the damage to this frigate and kill it as fast as possible, so he does not get tackled by it and eventually gets stopped with disabled propulsion module. So now here we go. Now he chooses to attack the slasher, and the slasher is just Tech 1 frigate. It goes down really fast. It's like 3 hits, and now the slasher is down. He moves back to the saber. He keeps it tackled. And basically he can outrun this saber, and the saber can never get close to him to do anything to him. What happens as well is we have a Loki, a Tech 3, Tech 3 cruiser, and Loki is bad for him. Loki is much better as tank and DPS, and however, the Loki is not as fast as him. So if he's careful, I'm sorry, if he's careful, he can stay out of the range of this Loki. The problem with the Loki is that this ship has a bonus to the Webby Fire module, which when activated on another ship, it brings down his propulsion module. He brings down the speed of his ship by limiting the propulsion module output, and basically making him slow. And he needs to keep away from this Loki. And same thing goes for the red guy here in the list, which is the Hugin. And this ship is basically this ship is specifically made to bring webifying power into the fight. He has bonus range of Webby Fire modules, and he usually people have at least 2 Webifying modules on those ships, so he has to stay away from this Hugin as well, which is not that easy, because his Webifying range is upwards 70 kilometers if overheated, and it is a problem for him. So what he needs to do is keep an eye on those 2 ships, and never let this Hugin get into a 70 kilometers range or less from him. And if this Saber right now decides to turn back, he should not be risking getting closer, just so he can kill it, because if that happens, Hugin will be able to web him, and maybe he will have time to warp out. We don't know. Let's see what happens. So Saber is going down, but slowly, and this Tech 2 cruiser is it has a good tank for this size of ship, if fitted properly. So we see that Hugin is burning towards him, and now he's in range of the Hugin. He has all his modules overheated, and when you have a module overheated, this module takes thermal damage, and you can only overheat a module for a certain time before it breaks, before it burns out. After that, you can no longer use that module, and he is basically he decided to follow the Saber for the chance to kill it, but he's already in range of the Loki's webs and the Hugin webs, and Loki is in range to shoot him, and from what I see, the Loki is a artillery fit, which means he cannot he will take heavy damage if he gets webified and shot by the Loki. So that's really, he decided to risk it there just to kill the Saber. So let's see how this ends. Saber is burning back to his friends, and Loki is burning for him, because he can he can outrun the Loki, but only if he's running the opposite way. And right now Loki is shooting at him. However, up until this point, Loki does not have a firing solution and could not. He's missing his hits Although if he hits him once, he will probably lose more than half of his shield. So let's see. Here we go. Okay, that's right now what we see is we have a web button on our guy, and we have a target painter, which makes him much bigger in terms of guns shooting at the target, so they can much easily hit his ship. And what we just saw is 5,662 damage from one shot from the Loki, because the Loki is using artillery guns, and they don't fire often, but they have a really strong alpha. And our guy already gave up on the saber, although the saber is almost dead, and now he thinks of warping out. However, he's I think right now he's already in warp. He decided to just warp out because Loki is 28 kilometers away. This means that if the Loki has a scrambler, and it's a good one, if it is a good one, Loki can scramble him from warping out even at 28 kilometers, because the good ones, if overheated, can go up to 35, 36, 37 kilometers. So right now he decides that he will not risk it anymore, and he wants to basically run away. Oh, nice. So before his ship was able to warp, and it takes some time because when you're moving with such high speed, in order to warp you have to be in between a certain speed of your ship to enter the warp. And what was happening is, while the ship was slowing down to enter this warp speed, his guns kept shooting, and the saber was well into his range of the guns. Minmatar guns have really nice range of reaching. So 30 kilometers is well into his shooting range, and he managed to kill the saber with his last shot by the guns, and he should be well into the speed right now to warp out. And he's in warp. Nice. It was risky, but it was worth it, I guess. And right now he's warping to a celestial beacon, and he's running on a Vedmak. Alright, so here is the thing. It's not just a Vedmak, it's a Loki as well, and he decided to engage the Vedmak, and he was probably wondering if this Loki was going to help him help the Vedmak or not. And the second he lands, he sees that the Vedmak and the Loki are actually on grid, and which means that he stands no chance against those ships. Vedmak has really nice DPS, and if fitted properly, Vedmak has a really nice tank. And same goes for the Loki, not to mention that the Loki is has bonus on webifying modules, and he is not far away. He's basically on top of them, 6,000 meters, which means that he even can be scrammed by the Vedmak, stopping his propulsion mode. So let's see how this fight goes. Okay. So he decided to engage this Vedmak, and the first thing that the Vedmak did was to point him and put a newt on him. I guess this Vedmak does not have anything else, it's just a Wong point and a neutralizer. And the second the Woki managed to lock him, Woki webbed him, which reduced his speed down to probably 500. It's 761 right now meters per second, but his speed will go down. So let's see how this goes. Although Vedmak is taking a lot of damage, I guess he's probably trying to surprise this Vedmak and with that much damage, probably around 600 damage with overheat right here. And let's see if this Vedmak can survive before this Woki actually gets him down. It's really interesting. Okay, so he's already half shield. He decided that he needed a little bit more damage, and he used a booster that can provide 3% more damage. However, he has a drones that can basically finish this fight early by jamming him, and when a ship is jammed, he will lose a lock on the ship he's fighting with. So he basically brawling face to face with a Vedmak and a Woki, and I don't know, this fight will not go well for him. However, Vedmak is already under half armor, so probably he will manage to he has a chance to kill the Vedmak, and then the Woki, if the Woki is has a scrambler on him, he will die. So let's see. But Vedmak is much more expensive than the ships he's using, so it's going to be a win, and it's efficiency. Okay, so he's already in half armor, and Vedmak is about to get into hull, and our guy is dead. Too bad. It was nice try. However, Woki damage is not that high, probably around 400, but Vedmak's damage increases with the time it stays on the target. So if at first this Vedmak started with 250 DPS, about that much time into the fight, this Vedmak's damage would have been around 750 or so. So this is what actually prevented him to kill him faster before that. Just Vedmak's damage killed him before he managed to do that. It was nice try, but yeah, good fight. So another fight, I guess he's using he's warping to celestial beacons. In this case, I guess it's another encounter surveillance system, which is mechanics of this is really interesting, but I can explain this for some other time. And when he's landing, he's looking at a Ortrus that sits 2,400 kilometers away, and let's see what happens. In this, our guy changed ships, and right now he's in a Tech-1 cruiser, a Caracal, with rapid white missiles that do thermal damage. He has his shield resistances preloaded, preheated, and he is fitted as shield, basically not even nano, just normal shield fit, single long point, and rapid wide missiles. And if he overheats the missiles, he will probably do around 400 damage. And I don't see any drones, so with drones probably 450 is the maximum with preheat. So let's see. Alright, so he landed 100. So Caracal landed 100 kilometers away from the acceleration gate, and the Arcturus decided to warp at 50, which is really smart move from the Arcturus, because Arcturus is a special kind of ship that has bonus to the scrambler range, and if he overheats his scrambler range and he has a good one, like not Tech 2 but better one, he will probably be able to reach this Caracal even from 50 kilometers away. So it was smart move from the Arcturus, and let's see how this fight goes. Yep, Arcturus pointed the Caracal at 46 kilometers, so it is worth mentioning that the Arcturus is a similar ship with the Caracal. Arcturus also uses rapid wide missiles, and the trick with those missiles is that they do a lot of damage for a short period, and when they finish, every ship has 20 cycles of the launchers, and when those 20 cycles are off, it takes a long time for the new missiles to be reloaded. So whoever first finishes his missiles will sit there for some time and not shooting. And from what I can see, the Arcturus is taking a little bit less damage than the Caracal. And the thing is, Arcturus has the same, probably around 500 DPS with those missiles if he's shooting them with heated launchers. So let's see how this fight goes. Okay, Caracal heated his launchers. The bad thing with the heating heavy rapid wide launchers is they burn really fast. So if he is not careful, he can burn his launchers really fast. And here we go again. Okay, this fight is looking really good for the Caracal. However, there is a problem, and the problem is this Arcturus is just about 56 kilometers away, and this Caracal has no way to stop the Arcturus from warping out, basically leaving the field, because his scrambler range is probably around 28 kilometers heated, if it's not a faction one. If it's Tech 2 scrambler, probably 28 kilometers. So even if the Arcturus is currently going into armor, Caracal probably will miss this kill because he has no way to stop him from leaving the field, from warping out. So let's see how this goes. Okay, exactly what I was thinking of. Arcturus decided not to risk because this ship is much more expensive The Orthros is much more expensive than the Caracal, and he decided not to risk it, because if he allows for Caracal to get closer and to scram him, he would be dead. Caracal had much better tank, although Orthros has much more speed, has a bonus on the scrambler range, and probably around 50 to 80 DPS damage more than the Caracal. But he decided not to risk it and went away. At the same time, a Saber came at 0 on the acceleration gate, and our Caracal is now thinking how I can get close to this Saber so I can kill it. And let's see what's happening. He's reloading his missiles with EM electromagnetic, because it's really good damage type for this destroyer. As I already said, Saber is Tech 2 interdiction destroyer, and Caracal is not that fast. With Saber is faster than him, but Saber will not want to get close to the Caracal. And here is what is going on. Saber is already 14 kilometers away from the Caracal, and although Caracal started shooting the Saber, one of his mistakes was that he decided to change his ammo type, because this reload takes 30 seconds, and for 30 seconds in fight like this, Saber had enough time to get closer to him without taking any damage. This means that most of the time Sabers are fitted with scramblers, and those scramblers, when you get a ship with it, you're stopping the propulsion module of the other ship. And Saber is currently moving with 2600 per second, and our Caracal is about 2100 with overheated module. So Saber will catch to him and will probably scramble him, because on field we have a Phantasm, a Broadsword, and a Redeemer. Although Redeemer and the Broadsword are far away from doing any damage, and they are really not that fast to get in time, the Phantasm is a problem, because the Phantasm is only 27 kilometers away, and Phantasm is another fish. This Phantasm, with the way I see it, with this velocity, which is 5,400, he is 100 MN afterburner Phantasm, and those ships have a bonus to the afterburners. Although they are really slow in turning, they can get really high speeds, and the only module that can stop them is a webifying module, and that's a problem for this guy, for our guy, because this Phantasm, although they don't have much damage, probably around 300, 320, or a bit more, Phantasm is going to start shooting him, and our Caracal is already under half shield, and Saber is in range for scram, so our Caracal will just get his propulsion module turned off, and this is how he dies, without be able to even move after that. So let's see. Okay. Saber is chasing him, 13 kilometers, 11, 10. I wonder why Saber is not tackling him. Probably try to open a bubble, or I don't know. This Saber pilot this Saber pilot has no idea what he's doing. If I was him, although I would not attempt this anyway. But if I happen to be as close as him, I would just scramble him for one cycle to turn his micro warp drive off, so that my guys can get closer to him. And sometimes in the fight, when the adrenaline is running, you basically forget to check if your module, if your speed module is running or not. So what the Saber could have done is to just scramble him for one cycle and keep burning. He did not do that, and he saw that Saber looking at his shields. He's like, oh fuck, I'm out of here, already burning 55 kilometers away, almost out of this missile's range. However, Redeemer and Phantasm and Slasher are in close range, so he needs to decide if he's bailing out, because Slasher can point him out and keep him in the fight for a little bit longer. And Redeemer at this range, he can shoot as well. So Redeemer shooting at cruiser like this one, like the Caracal, Redeemer is going to hit him really hard. So let's see what's happening. Redeemer is shooting at him, not... Yep. So Slasher is going to point him out. All right. That was so Redeemer had some nice hits on the Caracal, although not that hard. I guess he didn't have the proper laces on, the proper ammo. And this Slasher, he's a noob. He didn't do anything. Slasher was in range to point him, and he didn't do it. And let's see why. So Slasher can start pointing from this range. If he overhits his scram, his long point, his disruptor, this is disruption, and we have another module that is a scrambler, which is the scrambler is stopping the micro warp drive. So the disruption module, this Slasher can activate from 28 kilometers if it's overheated, and he never actually does. Our guy starts to shoot at the Slasher, and Slasher just says, oh fuck, I'm shot at, I'm out of here, and he didn't do anything. He basically got scared away. Here we go. So he never activated the disruptor. If he did that, he would have been dead. I guess this is part of the same fight, because our guy is still with the same module damage, as well as half shield. So basically some percent of his shield, with time the shield recharges back, so he managed to get some of his shield back. And he landed, or the Saber saw where he warped, and the Saber followed him. And this situation right here is really interesting. What the Saber is going to do is, Saber is going to open up a bubble and will start burning away, which means the Caracal will need some time to get out of the bubble before he can warp out. However, all the other ships that were in the systems which are Gnosis, Ortrus, Fugue Catalyst and stuff like that, they are not that fast in warp, so he probably has time to get out of the bubble before warping out. Let's see what the Saber is going to do. Here is the bubble, all right. And this time, okay, good job. So this time, what the Saber decided is to scramble him, which immediately turned off his micro warp drive. And by turning off his micro warp drive, and he's inside the bubble, as well as being scrambled, this Caracal is going nowhere until the Saber is dead. So the Caracal needs to beg right now for the Saber to die before he can activate his micro warp drive and get out of the bubble. However, not good not good timing. Orthrus is landing 34 kilometers away from the Caracal, and Orthrus is well into a range to also have him pointed, which means this Caracal is going to have hard time. Last time this Orthrus ran away, but because the Caracal had much more shield and managed to get the Orthrus to get the Orthrus shield out. But this time the Caracal is half shield, so this Orthrus basically knows that he can kill him. And Caracal, what he needs to do is to try and to basically keep shooting at the Saber. That's it. Keep shooting at the Saber. However, I don't see this fight ending good for our guy. Let's see. Saber is half shield. Orthrus is burning, and Orthrus has a point on him, has a disruptor on him already, and now he is taking damage from the Orthrus as well as the Saber. Caracal is and now we have a Phantasm as well. So the fight is over for our guy here. However, let's see if he is able to kill the Saber before that. Good job. Okay, so Caracal managed to kill the Saber. At least this is good for him. And Saber is pretty much as expensive as his ship. So fighting against that many ships, he just decided to trade his ship for the Saber one, and it was good trade. It was good fight. He couldn't do anything else to survive. He did everything properly, depending on what was going on the field. But those ships are, yeah. And if I hit play right now, the only thing that you will see is how his ship explodes, and this is where everyone is saying good fight and stuff like that. So, and he's still being yeah, okay, and he managed to save his pod. It was good fight. Good job. Alright, so another fight in Providence this time, and we have a gate. He just jumped through this gate, and he is in a Caracal, so basically the same setup as before. And what you see here, this is a Manticore. This is a stealth bomber, which is interestingly close to him, which means that this Manticore jumped through the gate, and the guy who is playing this Manticore basically forgot he jumped through the gate. So this Manticore stayed for 1 minute being cloaked from the gate, because the gate cloaks you up right after you jump, but this cloak only stays for 1 minute. So this Manticore is AFK, and our guy will just decloak and 5-shot the Manticore, because this guy is AFK, and if he does not cloak right now, he's dead. Now this is interesting. I assumed this Manticore was AFK. However, he was not. I'm not sure why he delayed his lock so much, because Manticores have really fast lock, and if they are quacked and they quack, the bombers don't have any delay before they can be able to lock ships. Manticore basically walked him back just before he locked the Manticore. So interesting. Maybe he was waiting to see where he was at. What is interesting here is this Manticore is PvP fitted. PvP so fitted. No bomber usually have scram and web, and this Manticore is set for fighting, for brawling. But engaging a cruiser with Manticore is it's not a good idea, especially Caracal, which has a lot of shield. And although Manticore can have upwards 1000 DPS, although I don't think this one has, it's still not a good idea because they don't have much tank. So, or maybe he just decided, well, I'm going to die. Let's see if I can do anything. So I die while fighting, which is good game. Yep, five hits. The only other thing I could think of is this bomber was a Sinnoh bomber. Basically, he was hunter, and he forgot his Manticore there. And when he saw the Caracal already walking him, he decided to just I don't know. It was not going to end well for this Manticore either way. Now this one is interesting. We are 119 kilometers away from the gate, which means this Caracal warped at 100 from the gate, and this Osprey, although it's 85 kilometers away, this Osprey was at 0 on the gate. So our Caracal landing 100 from the gate, Osprey sees him and starts burning for him. If you see the arrow pointing towards the direction where this Osprey is moving at. So Osprey really wants to get this Caracal. However, Osprey Navy is a Navy faction cruiser which has a really nice speed, and you can see that right now he's moving with 2544 meters per second, and our Caracal can probably do around 2100. So Osprey Navy is faster than him, so he cannot even fight. What we have going on for the Caracal, however, is that he can shoot upwards 40 kilometers, and the Osprey Navy cannot do that unless he's fitted with long range guns. So let's see how this goes. Our Caracal is not moving, so basically he's baiting this Osprey. Okay, so yeah, now I see it. Our Caracal has modules that extend his missile range up to 64 kilometers or something like that. So he didn't activate his module, speed module, until this Osprey Navy came into the range of his missiles. Basically staying on one spot, moving without propulsion module, and waiting for the Osprey to come to him. And Osprey Navy also has a rapid wide missiles. This ship has bonus on rapid wide missiles, and his range of shooting is no more than 50 kilometers unless he has modules like the Caracal. So this is basically two really fast and tanky ships brawling with rapid one missiles, and I'm not really sure in this fight who has more HP, but our Caracal is already into his fourth missile, and the Osprey hasn't even shot. So let's see how it goes. Okay, now we see the first missile from the Osprey. It will land in a second. Here we go. So alright, so what happened was this Osprey Navy taking a lot of damage, but this is only because his feet is not passive like the Caracal ones. Caracal has a huge amount of shield, but he has no way to fast recover it. However, our Osprey Navy has an auxiliary shield booster, most likely, that can recover percentage a flat amount of shield on every cycle. Usually those boosters, the shield auxiliary shield boosters, have 9 cycles before they run out of charges and they have to be reloaded again. So the Osprey Navy is an active tank, actively recovering his shield, while our Caracal is passive tank. And in this case, if the Osprey Navy manages to get close to the Caracal and manages to disrupt him so the Caracal cannot leave, he will probably be the winner, because active shield tank against passive shield tank almost always wins against one versus one. So let's see what this is going on. So he already boosted once. This is second time. This is third time. Our Caracal is really smart. So basically, Osprey Navy says, I want to disrupt you because I'm sure I'm going to kill you. However, our Caracal says, I know you want to disrupt me and you're gonna burn for me and you're faster than me, so I will burn the other direction and you will basically have to follow me. Although you're reaching me slower and getting closer to me slowly, you're gonna get damage from me while you're doing that. And eventually his auxiliary shield booster will run out of charges and our Osprey Navy will be in trouble. So let's see how this plays out. That's the fourth time he's boosting. Our Caracal just finished his 20th. Our Caracal just finished his 20 cycles of missiles, and he decided to reload with different damage type, which in this case should be EM, electromagnetic damage, because the Osprey Navy would have not much of resistance on shield against electromagnetic damage. We have also drones out from the Osprey Navy, and they are burning towards the Caracal. Our Caracal will take 40 seconds or 20 seconds, I wasn't sure, 20 seconds to reload. And now is the time for the Osprey Navy to do some damage to the Caracal. So that's the fifth booster for the Osprey Navy. And if this Osprey Navy is smart, the second he sees that there is no more damage incoming from the Caracal, he should start reloading his auxiliary shield boosters. And it will take as much time as the Caracal reloads his missiles. A little bit more, but it will be a nice time for him to replenish those 6 boosts that he did. drones running towards the Caracal. Now Osprey shooting him, and the drones now already caught up with the Caracal, and now Caracal starting to take damage from the drones as well, which is additional 100 DPS or so, and that's a problem, because now Osprey Navy is already in range and has a scramble on him, and the Caracal can no longer warp out. So let's see how this plays out. Okay. Eventually, the Osprey Navy will have to reward his missiles as well. And this is where our Caracal will have the chance to breathe a little bit more. However, our Caracal is already almost out of shield, and Osprey Navy is full shield, and probably, if he's smart, rewarding his Silver Shield booster, which will give him another 9 boosts of shield regeneration. Okay, let's see how many boosts. 1. Osprey. 2. That's 2. And if he boosts one more time, 3. Okay. Let's see if he rewarded. He did not. He did not reward. Okay, guys, do you see the difference here? This is the difference between people who know when and how the fight is going, and this Osprey Navy didn't use this no damage time to reward his Silver Shield booster. He basically boosted 6 times, and he was left with only 3 charges left. So what happened is our Caracal rewarded his missiles, and the only thing that he did was shooting back. Never rewarded his Silver Shield booster, which basically means he is dead, because well, now he has no way to recover his shield, and he's already out of armor. And our Caracal is well into 15% of shield, which is a lot. And the way I see it right now is a good game, Caracal. Good job. Good job. Okay. This is different ship, and from what I can see, this is a Thorax with ancillary armor rep, basically nano Thorax. Means this ship, it's a Tech 1 cruiser from Gallente faction. It has a good speed, some bonuses on his guns, tracking, I believe it was, and he is currently in a rewarding cycle of the charges that are used for the armor repair. And it looks like he was in another fight, which he didn't show us, probably because he bailed, and the people were too much for him. But he's under half of hull, and he managed to repair his armor. At this point, he basically rewarded, and this is how he enters into another fight. And his new fight, let's see, Oh, his new fight with a Draugr. So Draugr is a faction destroyer. What is interesting about the ship is that this ship has a really nice resistances because he's a Tech 2, as well as really nice DPS, which ramps up with the time he keeps shooting at the target. So if he has you in his gun's range and he has his gun activated, this gun damage ramps up with time. And our Thorax, although the Thorax is a cruiser and this is just destroyer, this fight, especially if the Draugr has some kind of either shield or armor repair, it's going to be interesting fight. However, the Draugr is like 10 times more expensive than the Thorax. So let's see what's going on. Okay, so that's 20 kilometers range. Draugr is really fast, so he will not be he will not have time to. Alright, so Draugr is really fast, and he managed to basically put disruption on the Thorax right away. And it looks like the Draugr is armor fitted. However, he did a mistake here, and as well the Thorax did mistake. He got into the fight without waiting his armor repair to reward his boosters. So basically now he does not have a way to repair his armor. Although he's active tank, he cannot do anything about it. The only thing that goes for him right now is that this Draugr is currently scrammed and webbed, and this means this Draugr is going nowhere. And at this range, those this ammo in the Thorax guns is not the proper one. If he wants to survive at this range, he needs to get into a void, and void at this range will basically 3-shot this Draugr, because he won't be moving with the weapon scram. It is a mistake from the Draugr, but it is also a mistake from the Thorax. So let's see how this goes. Draugr is active armor rep, and Thorax is already without armor. And yeah, he would have a pretty good chance to survive if he didn't go into this fight with loading armor repair. Basically all he needed was like 5 cycles off of this repair, or probably 3. I believe he decided to, because Thorax has really high DPS, which he can only apply if the target is properly tackled, like this target is. However, this high DPS only comes from specific ammo types, which in this case he has a Void and Caldari Navy. Oh. Yeah, I forgot the name right now. I'm thinking about something else. So what he's shooting right now is no ammo, and no has a higher range than those two types, but the DPS is like twice less. So if he had the proper ammo in his guns, he would have been victorious. So Thorax had really good chance, but he did 2 mistakes. He went into the fight with the wrong ammo, and he went into the fight with a warding ancillary armor repairer, which takes probably around 60 seconds, or I think it's 60 seconds to reload. And he saw this Draugr and says, wow, that's an expensive small ship. I have a chance to kill it. However, he underestimated the damage that Draugr does, and because the Draugr was active, he managed to boost enough so that his damage ramped up enough for the Thorax to die before him. It was a chance, he took it, although the win and loss were only like probably 10 seconds away, or just a single ammo change, which takes 5 seconds. Good fight. Wow, this Draugr has like 5% hull left, so that's one more cycle of his guns, one more cycle. And well, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. In this case, it was a nice fight though. Another fight, and this fight is against same ship, basically same Thorax Tech 1, and what is coming from here is a Retribution. This is a Tech 2 frigate, a suit frigate. What is interesting about those frigates is that they have really high resistances, and depending on which faction the frigates from, they either have bonus to resistances on armor or shield. In our case, this Retribution has a bonus to armor resistances, and they are well over 80 on all resistances. Thorax uses guns that shoot several types of ammo. However, the ammo is limited to specific types of damage. This ammo can only do thermal and kinetic. It cannot do explosive, or it cannot do EM, electromagnetic damage. So Thorax is limited to thermal and kinetic, and one of the higher resistances of this ship, of the Retribution, is thermal and kinetic. So basically, Retribution has no problem taking damage from Thorax because the resistances will make a huge hit really small. And let's see how the fight goes. Okay, 30 kilometers away. Retribution is micro warp drive fitted because he is running 2700. Also, Retribution shoots with lasers, and he is currently using long range lasers, focused beam lasers, and although they have range, they don't have much DPS. Compared to the close range ones. So he's starting taking damage here. However, he's too far from the guns of the Thorax to reach him with any ammo. Even if he changes to long range ammo right now, he will be out of range of the guns. So what he tries to do is overheat his MVD and trying to get closer to the Retribution. But if you check the Retribution speed, Retribution is not much, but well over his speed. So Retribution will try to stay at this range, and the Thorax will try to get close to him, and this is not good for the Thorax because Retribution will have a nice firing angle on the Thorax, and he will take a lot of damage. So let's see how this goes. basically the only damage that Retribution is taking from now is from the drones of the Thorax. And those drones, if you see, they shoot and they put the drones work like this. They have internal microwarp drive themselves, but they are programmed that they are using the microwarp drive until they get to shooting range, and when they get to shooting range, they turn off the microwarp drives and they start to shoot. And if Retribution is moving, drones keep shooting, but the microwarp drive is on, so he can outrun the drones for a specific time, for a certain time, until drones stop shooting. When the Retribution gets out of the range, they put their microwarp drives on again and start chasing the Retribution. And if they when they reach and chase him and get in close of the guns, they do the same thing. So what happens is Retribution took some damage, he outrun the drones, and he stopped taking damage. In the same time, our Thorax is half armor, although he's a silver armor rep. The problem that I see here is Retribution didn't manage to keep range, to keep a range away from the Thorax. And if the Thorax manages to scram him, which will happen if the Retribution gets closer to 9.5 kilometers, it's game over for the Retribution. Basically, Retribution is 12 kilometers away now. If he moves in kilometer further and gets crammed by the Thorax, it's bye-bye Retribution. So let's see how this plays out. 11 kilometers, 10 kilometers, here we go. The Retribution is now basically not moving. 400, 300 velocity, 100 velocity. Here is another thing that happened. Our Thorax was so much focused on getting close to the Retribution to scram him that he forgot to turn off his armor repair on time. Although it's not a kind of error, because he has good hull in numbers to take few hits and use it as a buffer. But what I'm thinking right now is maybe he did this on purpose, so that the Retribution, seeing that he is getting into hull, Retribution basically thinking, oh, okay, I will not run, I will stay in this fight, so that I can finish him, right? But the Thorax is thinking, I will play dead until he lets me get closer, so that I can web and scram him. And this is basically what happened. The moment this Retribution got scrammed, which means his microwarp drive turned off, and his speed is now 153 meters per second, which is basically standing still, our guy activated armor repair, and it's bye-bye Retribution. Really, really smart. Good job. Good job. Okay. Same ship, different gate in Quarius, and there is a Kikimora sitting on the gate, so I guess he will fight it. What I see here is that it is basically a fight right after the one we saw before. So because I see the same damage to the hull, and he has the close range ammo loaded, and he has the wood from the okay, so that's basically happens really close to, after the one we saw before. So let's see what happens. Okay, so here is Kikimora, 20 kilometers away from him, just dequoked. There is Apocalypse Navi and the Paladin on scan, probably rotting somewhere around the system. And fight is about to happen. This Kikimora, it's basically Tech 1 variant of the one we saw a few fights before. It has good speed. Its damage ramps up with time. It has some good tank in shield if fitted properly, but overall against a ancillary armor rapid cruiser, Kikimora, I would say 50-50. And the problem for our guy is that if Kikimora is faster than him, this is for certain. If Kikimora keeps him at 20 kilometers range, Kikimora can have a point on him, and our guy cannot, because he's using a scramble where Kikimora probably has a disruptor, and disruptor works up to 24 kilometers if it's Tech 2, up to 24 kilometers if it's not overheated, but if it's overheated it goes up to 28. So Kikimora is faster, which means this guy can keep a range out of the gun, out of the Thorax's gun's range, and in the same time he can prevent him from warping out. And in the same time Kikimora has a 3, actually it has 6, but Kikimora has a ammo type that can reach him even if it's further away. So Kikimora will surely disrupt him and start shooting him, and it is up to the Thorax to find a way to get close to the Kikimora and to probably web it or scramble it, and web will get it probably at 11 kilometers or 12, and the scram will get it at 10 kilometers. So he needs to go really fast for Kikimora, and so that he can tackle. And this way, if he tackles it, he has a chance, because he has a rep and much more options to get some armor back. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is a smart move. I told you guys that after you jump through the gate automatically places a cloak on you, and this cloak sits 1 minute, and after 1 minute you get decloaked. Basically what is happening right now, Kikimora decloaked, but the Thorax didn't, and Thorax is basically waiting to see what this Kikimora is going to do. And the Kikimora, what it's doing, Kikimora is burning back to the gate, which means he will get closer up to 13 kilometers or less to the Thorax, because he's, instead of burning away, he's burning back to the gate, and Thorax will have a chance to scramble and web it, and Kikimora will have to decide if he's going to fight, if he wants to fight at 0 on the gate, or he will have to just run away and activate the gate before he gets on aggro, before he activates his guns, and after that gate will not allow him to jump back. So let's see. Okay, so Thorax just decloaked. Oh, interesting. So Kikimora was going for the gate, but our Thorax didn't wait that much, and he decloaked at 15 kilometers away. So Kikimora had time to see him and immediately start burning away in the other direction. While Thorax activated his microwave drive and started burning for it, because his only way to survive this fight is to get under 10 kilometers, to have a web and scram on the Kikimora. Kikimora has pretty fast walk and already started shooting at him, so he does not have much more time to think about what is going to happen. Kikimora is already spooling up its speed, which is currently at 1160, and his speed is 1000, almost 300. So he's a bit faster than Kikimora, but this does not matter, because if Kikimora is able to get more speed faster, he will basically keep this 14 kilometers range and extend it further. So let's see if the Thorax is going to be able to tackle it. So that's 14, 15, and yes, basically what happened is Kikimora is much faster. Although it get closer, our Thorax didn't spend enough time in waiting. And although it was 15 kilometers, Kikimora had enough time. For a skilled PvP player, it's enough time to see where the ship is and immediately turn the other direction. And our Thorax got disrupted, and Kikimora went far away in the 20 kilometers orbit, in which case our Thorax, in which way our Thorax has no chance to survive. So what he should do in this case is burn back to gate and just jump the other side. The good thing here is that our Thorax did not activate his guns or did not put any drones out, so he is able to survive until he reaches the gate, which is really close to him, and just jump the other side, because in this situation he has no way of survival. Just no way. Yes, I'm not really sure what the Thorax tried to do here. There is no way for the Kikimora to lose track of him. Yes, there was probably 5 seconds where he managed to get out of the Kikimora's disruption range, but he was not aligned to anywhere, so he could not have warped away before the Kikimora got his disruption back. So he basically gave this ship up just for a... I don't know. I would not have done this. The other thing that I see is that this Kikimora knows how to play, and he basically knew what to expect and how to play in this situation. So good fight either way. I'm pretty sure this Thorax guy has a lot of things to learn, but admirations from me for being there and just enjoying the game and just having fun and looking for fights like this. Keep it up. You're gonna lose ships, but this is how we learn, right? So good job on the video, and I'm looking forward to comment another one from you.